Well, because I'm a SHIHAN sensei. How are you?
Hi, Sugadamas. How are you, Sensei?
Doing Daijobun, eh? Wearing masks, okay? Everybody in the world right now
Okay,
in
no
this
issue.
situation. So please, everybody wear
Yes,
masks.
I know.
Real easy to do. You know, America has a very hard time wearing masks,
Yes, yes.
but very important. I'll take it off now so you can see my ugly face. Right.
Okay.
Today, uh, because this is in reference to Kohan Sokon Sensei. This is the obi Master Shogun gave me in
That's great.
1972. On the left side, it states presented by Hohan Sokon Sensei. On omigi, the name of the style. And the name of our style is okinawan shorin matsumura seito. Karate do. Thank you. And it's an honor to be interviewed by you, Sensei.
Thank you so much. So nice of you, Sensei. Sensei, first of all, uh, I welcome to you as a guest on my live conference. Okay, as you know that this situation of lockdown in COVID-19 spread all over the world. So the whole world closed now. Every dojo closed. So in my uh, planning, uh, in my vision, yeah, it's my vision to recreational do recreational activity. So what we do? So I feel that it's much better we practice in dojo, but we organize live conference as well
Yes.
and get many information from the original lineage masters. So the word masters, you know very well, you are the direct student of Soken Musumura family. You are the part of Musumura Seto.
Yeah.
So please tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself, your full name, what's the full name, where you come from.
And how I got into the arts? It was an honor. I'm Charles Garrett. Live in Sacramento, California. Lived in Sacramento all my life, except for the military time. Uh, when I was in
Okay.
basic training in the military, our drill sergeant stated one day, if any of you meatheads want to learn karate, go to Okinawa. I was very lucky. I was working in Operations Intelligence, or S3, or battalion level. If you would desire to have a change of jobs or relocation, or go to, in this case here, my friend Chris Tazapoli, and I forgot to mention this on my other interview. Chris Tazapoli was a friend of mine from our MOS course, and he came into the office one day requesting to be sent to OCS, Officer Candidate School. And so I'm typing up everything for him, found out the requirements, and let him know, hey, you qualify. And then it dawned on me at that time period, because this is almost 2 years after basic training, about Okinawa. My drill sergeant talking about Okinawa. And so because of sending my friend to Officers Candidate School, I put in my paperwork to go to Okinawa. 3 months later, though, I got sent to Chicago Air Defense System. And so I went from San Francisco Air Defense to Chicago Air Defense. I wasn't there but 2.5, 3 months, and I had orders for Rijan Boat, Korea. And whoa, it would have been a real busy job if I was working there. So I called my friends back at Travis Air Force Base, letting them realize and know that, hey, I'm going to be coming through because I'm going to Korea. And so I call them up, and they say, hey, Specialist Garrett, we just sent your orders to go to Okinawa back to U.S. Radcom. And you'll find out in the future or right now or whatever that, hey, I got a big mouth. I like talking. You got to learn to communicate. That's the biggest problem in our world. People don't properly communicate to let you know what you feel or whatever. But anyhow, I called the Command Sergeant Major at U.S. Radcom, And he knew me personally because I always talking to him because of our positions. And so lo and behold, he says, well, Specialist Garrett, where do you want to go? You want to go to Okinawa or Korea? I said, I'd really like to go to Okinawa. And he says, tear up your Korea paperwork. Come on down. You're going to Okinawa. Well, I got to Okinawa on maybe the first week of October 1970. Had a really great start. I'm walking around Naha looking for a place to do karate. I hadn't mentioned it yet, but a year earlier, I had a back operation already. And so I'm kind of, I didn't like that slam throws that I saw. I guess really a lot of schools I went by with a little bit more jiu-jitsu and et cetera. And I didn't feel that would be proper for my back. And so I paused that. And a week later, I got sent up to Yozadaki Air Station. This was the radar site and the alternate command post during wartime, if need be. Lo and behold, I was there about a week. Then I saw this little old man coming every night. Class had about 5 people. It went to 10, 15, 20. And it got up there. I hadn't watched enough to decide to go with him yet because I still went back down the hill from Yozadaki because Yozadaki's a mountaintop. And so lo and behold, I still didn't see what I desired. And I finally watching Sokon with these other GIs. I go, okay, I'm going to see if I can get in. Well, my journey started probably the second and a half week of October 1970. It was really unique. Learning from an elder. The first time we had contact. I've been in the class about a week and a half maybe, and we're just doing shoot anything. He just got through punching the guy on my left, and he stands in front of me, and I was in my right position. He's saying, "Yo, ready." So when he punched, I come across the block. When I got my fist to the side area or elbow, I thought in my mind, "Take it easy. He's an old man." He knocked me backwards, and he just laughed, and then he went on to the next student. Master Sokon, when he was conveying things to you during class, you've seen a couple of still pictures where he's doing the tuite nerve points on the wrist of Woody Lion and elbow points, et cetera, many on our body. He would always have a little grin. Other than that, he would have a great poker face. I'm not going to read what he's thinking or so. So my adventure really started in that October, and by January, we were already added Sai into the course, added bow into the course, starting out with each weapon with their basics required, a stepping combination. Really sad though, by January, it went from 30 students to 10. GI is pretty lazy. I'm sorry to say that, but to me, it just seems GIs are too lazy. Saying, "Oh, I'm just going to get karate and learn," and not realize it builds up. It's like walking up a staircase. Maybe the stairs in China up that one mountain is a good example. You're not a master until you can run all the way to the top. That'd be a hard run, I think. But having Master Sokon teach, it was just like, what did he say? How's this old man doing that? I hadn't got into present my kamiza. So going through the kamiza, I started out with a beautiful drawing one of my students had done of Master Sokon. And then he copied it from one of the magazines.
Classic. Yes.
And then, lo and behold, my friend did my artwork of matsumura sokon. Now, if you can look on Nabi Sensei.
Nabi Mustamura?
Yes. Nabi has a little cut. There's a cut across his throat right here. And I never said anything to my artist friend about the cut because I really didn't know. And, this past year, hopefully it's a true story, Kano, who seems to be Master Sokon's oldest son, who's sitting close to 100 years old, tells the story. that Matsumura Nabe doing sword work with his wife. She cut his throat. So sometimes you find out women as good as men. Don't underestimate a woman. Please, any other questions, please, sir? Are you now the progression of
Okay.
kata? Okay,
That's great, Sensei.
our progression of kata. We started out learning the three Nahachi katas, and then we added Pinyan Sho, Pinyan Ni. When we got through with Pinyan Ni, we started Pasai, and Pasai was the beginning of the black belt level. Nahachis were kind of green belt in Shogun standards. The Pinyan katas, Sho and Ni, brought you up to EQ in brown, and he utilized Ni and EQ for brown belt. For green belt, it was Go, Yon, and Sankyu. And so we get into the Pasai katas. It was just so interesting. Everything just kept on growing and getting better, and the fluidity and understanding. But what's really fascinating, 50 years ago, well, 48 years ago, this move in Pasai, the searching hand, I felt the Reiki across my arm. And it's just so, it was so unique. I didn't know how to talk about it. Then later, Kusanku kata. First move, Kusanku, we're sitting here, hands come up real slow, real slow. The Mesozoic did certain things a lot slower. And I felt the compression of the ball. I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. And I've been able to convince several Okinawans that Kono is Okinawan Chi, Tai Chi. But I only see Master Sokon do it slow.
Exactly.
He said real fast. Then same thing with searching hand. He says concept, well, cool, but it kind of does away with the fact that a searching hand is for you're in a dark room trying to find or feel your way around. And my brother Dan, 2 times has gotten his butt kicked in the bathroom at bars. And I don't go to bars with my brother because he likes fighting too much. I didn't learn my karate to do defense for somebody who just wants to fight for no reason, right? So lo and behold, later, when I'm teaching my deshin in the mid-90s, I would listen to their breathing, and their breathing was really terrible. So I decided to use motion from Goji Shiokata, or rotate.
But many people do like this.
No, here is better because you're learning breaking wrist straps because we're doing a kakiyuke going down, a kakiyuke up, a kakiyuke down, you know. But when we learn to equate everything to our tendon alignment, we realize we don't need dynamic muscle, giant muscle. We need position that makes tension. I was watching Esau, Kisei son of the Kenshin Khan. Okay, I'm sorry, he's not doing Matsumura, so I won't say Matsumura. But I watched his Pinyan Shokaka. He's straight, just like this, and real high. You know, he did it. It wasn't training, did it? It was okay, all right. But we were always taught we came out and then snap that wrist, then back, boom. The kakiyuke, that wrist, you know, let alone the kakiyuke and bow concept. And so I got my students to focus better on their breathing. Whoa, the chi in my palms ignited just giantly at that time period. And I really began to realize that more of what we do is from our internal energy, not our hard dynamic energy. We need to be fluid with what we do. Uh, the students picked up on that
Fluidity.
better. Okay. Yes, please. Another question.
Sensei, one personal question. Your hairstylist look like Sokon Musumura.
Right.
So, are you inspired from Sokon Musumura, Sensei? You are
Oh,
very look like
yes.
your
Thank you.
haircut. You're
Yes.
looking very nice.
You know what's kind of cool? I have one picture of Kano, and Kano has same. But Kano,
Okay.
he's probably one of the oldest looking individuals I've seen picture wise. But it was kind of cool to see that he was wearing top knot too. Some of my friends say, "Oh, you got a man bun, man bun." I said, "No, I don't. I have a top knot." There's a difference between a man bun and a top knot, in my opinion. Go ahead, please.
That's great. That's great. Sensei, maybe you observe that many old masters have beard. Many Chinese masters, Okinawan masters have big beard.
Yes.
Is this a coincidence or the reason behind this? Did you know?
That's a very unique question, young man. Danish Constant said. Really, that's I've never really tried to drive into that. I always felt that I saw more of a goatee from the Asian cultures. Myself, though, my sideburns. I have no sideburns. Uh-oh, I lost you. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Jotamate. Okay, we're still rolling. Okay. So my sideburns, I have zero sideburns at all. And, you know, it just kind of, you got a video on?
Yeah, Sensei, there is a load shedding problem, I think. Uh, there is no light.
Okay.
So I
Digest.
use the torch.
Okay.
Anyways,
Let me get
yes, you said.
into, let me talk about the Matsumura Seito family as I understand it. It really hurts me to see that I find zero Okinawans teaching Matsumura Seito.
Okay.
I thought Akamine, when he took over Inuye's position of Sokon's Hozon Kai, and that's another reason why I'm wearing this patch right here, because I feel that I'm the only one, and a couple others in the States that I know, there's four, that are following Sokon's kata. It's it hurts me.
Mm.
The Kenshin Khan family under Fise Kise, who ended up breaking up and was defriended by Shokin indirectly in '76. And lo and behold, everybody Fise Kise teaches around the world feels they're doing Matsumura Seito. No, I'm just outright sorry that things have been presented wrong in that manner. Kisei
Mm.
right away wanted his own system. He developed Kenshin Kan in the 60s. And I have paperwork that annotates that. And gee, when we go further up the line, really, there's one man in Okinawa, and Oshiro is still alive, but he's underneath Kina Sensei in Okinawa. And Kina Sensei is really teaching Matsubashi and a little bit of Motaburu with the Matsumura. He's got a blend. He's not teaching Shokun's way. Uh, when we take a look at the flow of kata, if we watch Sokun and Akamine, Akamine has now turned to a robotic hard form in a way. The fluidity is just so important. With my deshi, when we're working out, uh, I'm pretty strong from what I hear, and I don't do weightlifting at all. but what I do is proper limb and tendon alignment. And so, and with the right timing, when somebody punches at you and you deflect it proper, they see immense power. And one of my friends that I associate with, Kosho Kempo, Bruce Jutnick, in his association, I'm known as Iron Man. I was taught contact initially. And if we don't have our limbs hit, if we don't get our body hit, here I am, 73. Yesterday was one of my greatest classes for a long time. I have a new student that's 88 years old. Whoa. He impressed me. I mean, he had difficulty with what he was doing, but his heart and his drive at 88, I mean, he pushed himself. And when we find out, to me, the important thing about our katas, they open up all our channels and meridian lines of the body. There's hardly one time in which I start out in karate in the daytime and I'm tired when I start, but when I'm done, I'm not exhausted. I'm not tired. I'm energized. I've got more energy. Another unique thing is that because of the arts, I like to use the mind, the middle point here. If I do kumite with you, I'm looking right here. I'm not watching your eyes. I'm not watching your limbs. I want to get into your mind. And when we understand that we have to own the ground we walk. So if we're just doing chudan uke, well, really there's nothing that can come into that area. If you learn, now the physics, right? I mean, the 90, right? 90 at the elbow. Look at the shoulder, right? It's all the same alignment. But when we get in and we reach to block, dame, no. Move in a little closer, whether you're skating or whatever. A unique thing, again, with the matsumura is we are always crescent stepping. And it's continual. We keep equal weight left and right. We don't go there. You don't see a nekodashi, but the nekodashi transition is within some moves, yes. So to say there's not really a nekodashi would be really wrong in its essence, because when we draw back to a narrower stance, it's very, very similar. I like to share as much as I can of what Master Shokin taught. And what's so cool is that he taught to be humble. Every class at his home. Now we started going to his home on say May of 1971. And we were there 4 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, from 5 to 7, plus or minus a half hour both sides. And then on Sunday morning, Juji at 10. It was so cool. There's a few pictures I posted where you see Shokin looking out his door, and I think one of his sons is sitting there next to him as well. And he had a well in front of his home. It was the most refreshing water. It was just amazing. But Master Shokin, what was really cool, let me get this picture. I know everybody's seen most of them or whatever. So we'll start with this one here, all right?
That's great. That's great.
Master Shokin came in and out of dojo through that bedroom window. See, his dojo was built on the back of his home. And lo and behold, one day, Master Shokin, as he was leaving dojo, let me take that here again. As he was leaving dojo, his right foot was on the windowsill. His left foot into his bedroom. And lo and behold, his right foot slipped back into the dojo. His left foot was in his bedroom. His gi pants did not touch the windowsill. Now,
Okay.
you can tell the height of the window because of that metal chair. You know, all four of us. When that happened, this is a day we didn't have a camera. Okay, we only took camera 3 times out of 400 sometimes at his home, and it's just so amazing that he presented himself even in video as if it was a still picture camera. But Master Shokin, every class would come and serve tea at the end of class, and then he would be. You see the round wicker chair in the background. So he'll have gone in and gotten the tea first and seaweed chips to eat. And one student at a time would go through their kata and he would work with the one at a time. But Master Shokin, he's always, the picture doesn't show him other than his knee in the corner, okay? But he loved his karate. And it's just like myself. Here I am, 73, and I enjoy doing karate still. I really enjoyed, 88-year-old man yesterday. And there's no limit on what you can do. But Matsumura Seito Shorin is supposed to be the softest of all Okinawan karate. And that has been known for a long time. I can't read that. Could you read that to me if you ask a question? But our katas, again, we started out with the nahachis, 2 pinyan, 2 pasai, and then shinto kata, and then goji shio kata. By the time we got into goji shio kata, I think it was like the winter of 71. And we had that at the same time, Shokin no Sai, Shokin no Kun, or Shukenbo kata. And one of the videos I have, I'll get it back online in a while. Shokin is doing a naginata form with the bow. And you know, one thing that we were told: take your tuifa, do it in Kenya kata. Take your sai, do it in nahachi kata, pasai kata. So you should. This is a part that I have a difficulty with. Some schools just want you to practice their weapon kata and nothing more. Well, when I ask a student to do tuifa kata in Kenya, I don't want to see same kata each time. I think sokon no tuifa kata, yes, be proper exact. But when you're doing Kenyan-san tuifa, it shouldn't look the same each time. And I try to make the student think about you're fighting different characters, different sizes. You have to see a punch or a strike or a hammer fist coming in. It just doesn't matter. Yes, question there again.
Okay. Your history is very impressive, Sensei. Very impressive.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Sensei, as we know that your style is Seito Matsumura Seito. Am I right?
You like
Matsumura
that?
Seito. So, what is the
Lost your question. Freeze frame. Oh no. Okay, what was your question?
Sensei? Can you hear my voice?
Yeah, I got you now. Go ahead.
Okay. Your style is Matsumura Seito. So, what are the fundamentals of Matsumura Seito, and what fundamentals you follow and teach right now? Today is in your dojo.
Okay, I stay with what Master Shokin taught. I try to align my class in the same manner. Really, one of the signature Matsumura Seito, like I stated earlier, about the crescent stepping. A unique thing, okay, in your Kobashi, right? you do uke here a lot. Well, that is a position we'll use only to strike, not like walking here and come, right? When you understand the variable difference, when you block in this manner, you have instant crane wing. If you're blocking here, you got to turn the hand way over and crane wing. Okay. But what's so cool is just boom, straight down, boom, one motion. And I saw a good Waza concept where this is really pinching off your throat. Okay. Get the arteries on the left and right side, pinch it hard, twist it. Okay. But see, that's an application versus staying. And it's really dominant. There's nowhere. We do a couple points in Pinyon 4 kata to where we will do uke from here. But when we understand that, all that needs to be done is for you to push here and push here. Like in Pinyon Ni, the rolling palms, right? Well, you do the rolling palms on that. Oh, you got dislocation. So, that is really part of it. We are the quietest style. Now, when you see my videos and stuff, I'm counting. And I do that purposely. And some people, man, you count too loud, da-da-da-da-da. Hey.
Yes, I saw your videos.
I earnestly feel now my biggest health benefit was counting. Hoit, 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 hoit. It nourishes the whole body. It gets your blood flow going. And hey, I'm practicing to get my health better. So when you understand the counting is making your health better. Another part of the matsumura would be mental extension. If next time you're with your student, keep it off square with them, and then right arm against right arm, and I call it standing. Ude zumo. I'm out of language for sure. But pushing against each other. Not doing sticky hand. Not trying to whip under and hit him in the face. But you get into keep it off. Don't lose your stance. Maintain it. When you utilize the mental concept, this arm is going over there, it's going to be powerful that way. But if we just muscle in that direction, really not the same. So when you do it against your student, tell them to use their muscles, but you use mental extension. So if you're right forward or left forward, all right, you're going to want to go to your left side, but mentally do it, and you'll feel your strength in that. Now, what I do to the students is they're chuganuke, and in this case here, okay, my right side. So I tell them, okay, the washing machine is over to my right far side. So put the arm on the washing machine. Years ago, after the false reunification by Glenn Primru and whoever else, liars in there that trying to say they were Shokin students, but lo and behold, the chi that I presented then hooked Raymond Gunther. And Raymond Gunther calls me up after the event and he says, Charles, I really love it if you come to New Hampshire and teach my students Sokin's kata. So I ventured to New Hampshire. I was there 5 days, 4 days in a row. There's a room with 2 classes and then a B room with 2 classes. So each one was divided up where half of A room, I'll teach certain katas, and the other half A room, I finish the katas. So I taught the whole system. And on Sunday, getting ready to leave, and I could see the young black belts kind of puzzled. Said, hey, excuse me, I'm getting ready to leave. You look a little puzzled. What's your question? Sensei, go minasai. We're really sorry. Go minasai. When you teaching A and B, or A room, we took a break. When you came into C and D room, they worked out, and A and B took the break. Where did you get your energy from? How did you do that? Oh, if good sensei feel energy from good student. Student gives teacher energy because of their attitudes and so on. There was one young lady at Raymond Gunther's dojo, Mary, I'm thinking Stevens, no, that was Illinois. But Mary was the strongest lady and stronger than the men on Koteki Tai, arm conditioning. I complimented her in front of everybody on how great her technique was. I think that's something we need to do a little more right now, Danish Sensei. We need to, people we don't even know, give them a compliment because of this virus we have running around. Everybody's energy is being pumped on, all right? Or hurt or disturbed because of this negative energy, because it is negative energy. I bought a new lathe, wood lathe, in January. I started working on it, and then the virus started. I don't want to work the wood lathe until virus gone or feelings are better, because when I make a weapon, I want the weapon to be with peace, not war-minded or anger or upset.
Yes.
Because the energy of what you do will go into that object, believe it or not. Years ago, at one of the gatherings of Bruce Gutnick, I presented Bruce a Tuifa cane. And one of his students came on over and asked to look at it. He holds it. You made this by hand, didn't you? I go, yeah. And all I did is use a smoke shade. Didn't use no lathe. Just a round curved plane and hone it down, and it turned out great. But people need to learn to share. I've been sharing since I got online in '91. I'm not afraid to share what I got. Too many people, secret karate. Deaf man, bullshit. No secret karate. It's just, how do you practice? How do I practice? Okay. I take it you teach karate for income, no, or hobby. Okay. So if you're doing karate for income, it's different than me teaching as a hobby. So I'm not as emphatic about a few things, and I don't have to pay extra overhead. But you got to teach. Uh-oh. Mine frozen now? Hey. Whatever. Oh, there we go. No. Come on. You can hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, I hear you.
Oh, what happened there? Let me see.
I think the video is stuck, but your voice is clear now.
But we need to show friendship. I earnestly feel your karate, my karate, even Putin's karate, right? If we together if we're doing martial arts together, wouldn't we be Tomodachi? We'd be friends. And
It's not about the family.
Yes. You're part of the family. Now, like right now, our part of the family is the virus. And one thing is going to piss me off, excuse, is that people are going to want to make millions and millions of dollars off the virus cure. And say Japan gets the first virus antidote. I want to see whoever gets that first antidote share that antidote right now on the internet. Put the requirements for the pharmaceuticals to make it, and it needs to be shared, not monopolized. So I'm richer than you. It's going to happen, money. Now it's just like yesterday. I hate to politics in it all, but it's not good that Donald Trump wants all the medical information from the hospitals of all the states to go to him, not CDC. I'm sorry, that is bad. That's dumb. And using the word dumb, I mean, that was one of the unique things working out with Master Sokon. If you made a mistake, right away, dumb it. And we don't. Oh, whoa, that is wrong. Okay, so we learn to correct it. And I think that's one thing that we need to accept in life is that when somebody offers you input or information, you need to accept it. And
Yes.
maybe you need to analyze it and share it, all right? Don't belittle it because it's different. That's not proper to belittle because it's different. Darn it, I don't have. Get on a piece of paper and draw a triangle upside down, and then draw another triangle from the bottom point going to the top. So you have two triangles. One looks like a pyramid, and the other was an upside down pyramid. You draw a line through both points of the top of the pyramid from top to bottom. On one side, you will see an hourglass. And initially this came from karate development for me, but to me, the hourglass is representing it's going to take you a certain amount of time to accomplish your endeavors. And be patient. And everybody's time period is different in learning. Not everybody learns as fast and or as slow. Then on the other side, because we drew a line straight up and down, now the first one was the hourglass. The second one is two roads, good and bad. And I feel that because they cross over means that you can change. You can become a great person, even though you were a screwed up mudhead somewhere along the line. And, you know, when we get in and accept others, and like we're doing with karate, martial arts, we become family. And the more
Yes.
we talk and share, I was really impressed I would love to have seen your full matches from a year ago in Okinawa. Okay. It's really great to see a young man from Pakistan go to Okinawa and win both divisions. All right. You're a great man because.
Thank you, sir. Arigato.
But you know one thing, I have a hard time. I was watching the Okinawan trials a while back, and it looks more taekwondo now when they kumite. And I'm sorry, you don't need the bouncing. Bounce all the time. Time, you learn to go. Oh, hey, I came back to life. All right. But they're always bouncing.
Yes.
No. Dame. Master Sultan would say dame, because you're telling me what you're doing. If you do that same bounce 4 inches off the ground, if I do a proper Nahachi show sweep, right? Or Pasai or Kusanku, it doesn't matter. But I feel, again, we'll go back to the counting that we have to do in class. It nourishes our health more than the punching and blocking, I feel. But we have to learn to breathe down to here, not up here. See, too many people, they feel up or up. They get nothing down here. That's all down the lower tendon. Oh, still lower. One of my deshi. Oh, what a great heart. Okay, Rigo Gomez. Good man, really good. Tries real hard. Everything he does, very elegant. Okay. When he was a young man, though, before doing karate, he liked weights. So, boom, 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 boom. Well, he built the muscles. Then the muscles worked down, and then the muscles now control his diaphragm to where he cannot inhale. but 6 or 7 seconds. A while back it was only 4.
Yes.
You know, it's amazing that a little indifferent exercise, such as weightlifting alone, can restrict your breathing. And our breathing is the essence of what we do. We correlate our breathing with the contact with our opponents as well. Another question, Sensei.
Yes. Yes, Sensei. Uh, Sensei, before I share the question, one of your student, Viren Kagetora, is here now. He sent some messages, so I will share on the screen.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, Raiden, yeah, go ahead. I can't see it. Go ahead. What's it say? Oh, if
He
that's
says to get a full challenge in accounting, do it. Planking is also improve confidence and consternation. Consternation?
Raiden has been around for a while. He's really a great individual. He tries real hard. I had to hammer him recently because they're using booty too much in technique, right? In matsumura, we don't shake hip area. We have a very small hip involvement when we do the pivots and turns or strikes. We don't have it. The butt end, right? It's again just a signature from the matsumura side. I remember one of your written questions you were asking about the Sakagawa. Yes, Matsumura studied a lot under Sakagawa. When looking at the katas, I see some of the same items as what you do in the kobashi, right? See, percentage of the other shorin styles have and show preference more from Sakagawa than Matsumura. And it's just kind of unique in that manner. Now, in 72, before Master Sokon came to America, in my auto interview I have with Master Sokon, the OKF that was formulated was for Matsubashi, Soba-ashi, and Koba-ashi Shorin, not Matsumura. But that money man, Glenn Primrose, wanted to take money from people. And so he made the statement, it's all Okinawan productive. And no, that's not what the OKF was at all. From the originator who brought it up, okay, because Master Sokon assisted with that. But the change in all our styles now, I have to hand it to Matsubashi. They are still very, very close to everybody what Shoshi Nagamine did. And this is why I get disappointed when I see people that say that they're Sokon student or doing Matsumura Seito and their kata doesn't look anything like Sokon's way. And I don't try to make somebody feel bad or indifferent because of. I just want to share, and I'll try to show a video of Sokon doing the kata they're doing, so it's too low weight. That's a little different. And the same time period, our breathing exercise and mental helps us make a circumference circle around ourselves that we're aware of all the energy within. And we become very responsive to sound and motion. Now again, the matsumura was the quietest of all Okinawan styles and the softest. But then on another hand, when I make contact with anybody, everybody, oh, you're so strong, you're so strong, you're so strong. And I think it's more that I've learned to own my block. This is mine. This is mine. This is mine, right? You have to be so confident in what you're doing. Everything you do, you have to be able to see it in your mind's eye. If you can't see that reverse punch in your mind's eye, you don't have control of body yet. I've been making my students lately sit, close your eyes, watch your kata. See yourself doing your kata. Don't stop when you make an error. Make yourself go all the way through. And when you can start going through and do every kata in your system, in your mind's eye, and see your moves, you're a greater karate kata because you've learned to own your ground, as I like to call it. Even when you're stepping, when you step forward, you have to own those grounds you step. Now, our crescent step is really utilized a lot for stepping in behind the opponent's lead leg, but we would be on the ball of the foot up to the point of the back of my knee, feeling the back of their knee. And then as soon as I feel their knee, my right arm or left arm is going to arm bar them across the top of their body and slam that foot down, and body goes horizontal. Pretty good with that maneuver. But it's important when you're sitting down at home, not doing anything, you have to watch a movie, find those points through your body. that is a good. I got a good shot on that one. That felt good. You know, it's still shooting down my arm, all right? But you have to do that. If all you do is here, boom, yeah, cool. But my Agiyuke, I'm hitting jaw with wrist bone. So I'm moving in on your punch and wrist bone to the jaw. But as I tell all my students in every class, I pray. Dollar and all. We never have to use our arts in true self-defense. Because in essence, you have to kill somebody. I was talking to my brother Tom yesterday, and whoa, first time he spoke about Vietnam to me. He played dead in Vietnam, and Charlie Khan kicked him and rolled him over, and of course he survived it. But he was saying that where their camp was at, next to Cambodia, a couple miles away, the Americans were not allowed to go into Cambodia. And lo and behold, just a couple miles away in Cambodia, our enemies using mortar fire to take our camp out. But we can't do nothing. Now, that's not a good way to fight war. I'm sorry. That's not a way to fight war. You know, and almost the same thing with these demonstrations. We have a right for peaceful demonstration. Yes. But to go over and destroy somebody else's property, that's not proper. To me, that's somebody inside. They've kind of developed such hate, and I think the more we communicate, you sharing your kobayashi and my matsumura, and et cetera, other styles, much better civilization, much better. But Sakagawa teaching matsumura sokon, that had to be very unique, and you know, it's kind of unique the time periods of Matsumura's sokon's life. Was going out and kicking his butt on his way home from Sakagawa's. You've heard those stories, haven't you? That, you know, for her to tie him to a tree with his own obi, right? But he went to Sakagawa. What do I do? He was afraid to hit her because he knew she was a woman that was attacking him. And he will hit her in the bust. But, you know, I want to see Pohan Shogun known in the future. And I know that he will because of Kisei. So, you know, I really thank Kisei on that part. There's no doubt Master Shogun will be known for hundreds of years. But he'll be known for doing something different than what he did. But when I first met Akamini in 2004, and I have audio or video of conversations with him where he was hurt because when he took over from Inouye, none of the Okinawans would help him learn Shokun's kata again because Akamini was with Shoshi Nagamine from the mid-'60s to when Shoshi Nagamine passed away in the late '90s. So he moved away from sokon in his art form. And, I just wish that Oshiro, see, Okinawa, okay, you have to respect your elder. And in this case here, Hina Sensei is teaching the matsumura his way with the matsubashi well into it. So it's not matsumura. Oshiro knows the difference. Oshiro's Okinawan was in class with me, and there's pictures and so on. And I know that he knows the kata. He won't say a word about it. He won't say, Kina, this is how we block. We don't block like this. Or whatever it is. And, it's great to respect your elders, but if they're not doing something correct, it would seem like you should have a right to say something without any reverence against you. But learn your martial arts for yourself, your family, if you're a teacher, and then those that you teach. Be honest with your students. I always teach, every class I teach as if I'm not going to be here tomorrow. Years ago, I had a motorcycle that would do 160 miles an hour. And every day, I was doing 150. Really. It was a great adrenaline rush, and I had good control of it. And I got to the point, though, I might have accident. So you better teach better. Make what you teach serious. And pass on Shokun's way as much as possible. And, I try to do that. I've mentioned so many times about the way Shokin was and his sharing with us. He was totally open to the Yosagaki students, teaching them the whole system because Fisei Kisei was already separated. They were already separated. And if it wasn't for Gene Penninger and Kim Penninger in our audio interview of April '72, they helped us clarify some things. They helped us find out what's happening with Shokun's visit to America. And really funny. Sensei Shokun's 4 Yosagaki students showed up at the airport to see Kisei and Shokun off to America. Nobody from Kisei Dojo there. And, we thought, whoa, we thought for sure we'd see some of his students at the party there, taking off for America. But again, practice what you have. Don't be afraid to share it. Don't say you got secrets. All it is you do more practice than I do. We have a little variable different, which is good. We don't all want to be the same because there's nothing to learn if we're all the same. But if you can show that you love what you do and your students see that, I think that's a great way to be with your arts.
So this, the teaching and teacher, the student, and his learning is a phase. It's very, what we can say that it's all about the cultivation, civilization. In reality, this is a civilization. You love your teacher loves you.
Yes.
You love the art of what your teacher teach you. You accept them and you learn it and pay back by your great effort. This is very important for the students.
Yeah.
You learn it completely from your teacher and then apply in your life. That is called cultivation, development.
My senior student
Yes. So
has been with
yeah,
me
yeah.
since 1974. He retired as a principal for middle school. He was a great middle school teacher. His kata, the Hakutsuru kata that we got on chart from Ted Lang Sensei. Now, Ted Lang is a gentleman who brought Master Shokin to Yosagaki 1970. Ted Lang sensei from Australia. But Carl is so fluid. His flipping of the hand almost look like sokons in the Makusuru kata. I mean, it's just really elegant. Carl was a gymnast when I first met him. And man, he got big calves and big thighs and stuff. Don't want to get in the way of his kick, okay? But he has studied it diligently for his health. He hasn't taught nobody. Maybe he taught somebody in his family or whatever, but he's doing it for his health. And when you understand the martial arts is for your health and longevity, you know, I want to be like the late masters. They all lived into their 90s. I think that's fantastic. I'm 73, and I pray that I hit 80. If I hit 88, like my new student, I told him yesterday, hey, Dick, you're going to help me make 88 then. If you're 88, I can make it. I can make it, you know? And so, you know, I got that way of attitude because, hey, I love my family. I love my grandkids. And I love teaching my grandkids and others. But try to teach them to share. Learn to share. When people understand sharing, I think we're much better. And then again, you know, like at the first part of the year, I said something about, hey, go on out, compliment somebody, and compliment somebody you don't know. Not just your family members. I don't care who I get a compliment from, I feel good. There's good energy. And I think the best way of spreading good energy among strangers is compliment them over something. Somebody opened the door for you going in the store. Hey, thank you very much for the door. Or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Because people will strive off of that good energy. And I have to admit right now, because of the COVID-19, energies are low. And, you know, that is one thing that really brought about the big demonstrations that started in America, but went worldwide, just like the epidemic. You know, this shows worldwide we all feel the same, huh? We all got that same energy. We got that same love. And we all want to live longer. Okay, you have a new baby, right? Year old. It's great energy. You know, grandkids. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
It's just great in its essence.
That's
Another question, Sensei.
uh, does it I want to share this question mixed up. Mixed question. The mixed question is about what is the meaning of matsumura seito, and the three questions combined. What is the meaning of matsumura seito? And tell me the difference between the matsumura soken way and matsumura seito way.
Wow. Okay. In essence,
Are you feeling easy?
it should actually be matsumura seito should be representation of what Hohan Shogun presented in his kata and history to his followers. It's just like he had told us about when he was in Argentina. He split his palm from the knuckle all the way down to here, trying to break a piece of ironwood. At 83 years old, you could still see that split in his right palm. And that even let us know that, hey, when he tried to break the ironwood, he used this. He didn't use seiken, he used shito. The reason why he used shito, chi flow, energy flow, greater, more power. Looking to the Matsumura sokon side, oh, gee. Because of seeing the difference between the different Matsumura systems, or from Matsubashi, Kobashi, Sobashi, to me, it kind of seemed like, now mine, matsumura is up at the castle. And people in the castle learn to fight quietly. Because as you know, sound goes through paper walls real easy, huh? All right. So I see the other styles, and just like all the Samarite styles, as the harder warrior on the front line before you get to the castle. And whether it's to be hoping that by the time they get to the castle, the more fluid, quiet system will be able to take care of the king's family and escort him out properly. Maybe versus proving that they can continue onward, because I feel that his mission would have been to protect the king versus jumping out and getting in the middle of a fight, because you can't be next to the king to protect him. Uh, it's kind of when the stories I've heard from Kano, if that is true, it sure seems that what I'm doing kata-wise is what Sokon taught the Kano in the 20s and 30s. And he was supposed to carry on what Nabi taught the Sokon. And Nabi was supposed to carry on what Matsumura taught. So I think there's really two sides to the Matsumura Sokon. Because when we look at our difference in kata, we will see those little variables. You have a lot of nekodashi, etc., double here, minor things in essence. Really minor things. Other than maybe being more hard and dynamic in style. But the other style is a lot harder in its essence than the Matsumura seito. So when I look at the history from Itosu, and Itosu learned from Matsumura, we have all these little variable variances. Well, sad to say, I was a prejudiced butthead until the 90s. I didn't care about socializing with the other styles, because when I got back from Okinawa, one of the first places I went to visit a karate dojo, the teacher's bragging about kicking the shit out of a drunk the night before. No. That's not good brag. You shouldn't be bragging about beating somebody up. I never visited that guy's dojo again. Next dojo I go to, teacher sitting at desk, one student in dojo area working out, white belt, learning bad technique because nobody in dojo with her. I feel teachers should be involved in the class. Shokin was involved with the whole class. And I think that's what keeps you healthy. You want to stay healthy. So always stay involved. Yes, sir. Another question, or are we looking good?
Can you hear my voices?
Uh-oh.
Yes. Sensei, as we know that there is a big difference between the Okinawan karate and the other karate styles. But here, the very important question, or the very rare question, what is tuti, and did tuti used in karate
Oh, yeah,
or kata?
tuite. Yeah, no, tuite.
Yes.
Your tuite, whether it's your joint manipulation or striking the different subo and nerve points. Master Sokon, when I would take the dictionary to him, I pointed out zazen. Sokon sensei say kata. Like a dummy, I asked him twice. The second time, Sokon raised his voice, kata. Oh, okay. I asked 2 questions in a row, the same question, should have known. But throughout your kata, the tuite is interplayed. It's not a individual breakdown all the time, and it should be attacked on the nerve and joint points of the body. And the conditioning, okay, we look at conditioning, and we take a thought of Masoyama. Masoyama had really gigantic knuckles, okay? I posted the picture of Sensei Sokon, the Hachikata, the double punch. And his knuckles, he didn't have ugly knuckles, huh? He had very, very plain knuckles. And, you know, they're good enough.
In fact, Choshin Shimana.
Yeah. You know, if you're an escort for the dignitaries visiting the king, like Sokon would be, if you're escorting somebody around, you got the big giant knuckles, I think visitors would be nervous. So, you know, when you ask individually on Tuite, it's kind of, there's so much of an area. Because there was a Chinese master back in the 17 or early 1800s. He put away 108 of his slaves with one strike. 108 different points in the body that are lethal to a single strike. Oh. And you know, what's really crazy, it's just like in Japan, the one sword that cut through 6 bodies. The individuals that will die for their master to prove how great their master is. You think anybody in America would do that? And it's the attitude you have to be brought up with, and the respect. You know, really, it's respect, not necessarily attitude. I think learning proper respect, and when we respect each other, that hey, we become friends. You slap my face, or I slap your face, then it's guns, and you know that's not good. We need to promote peace and harmony. No first attack, but yet even our first moves in every kata are very aggressive in their own essence. But again, our breathing and counting is so great for our health, and that's the importance of what you do in the martial arts. Your health. I think self-defense comes second, because I have to. Okay,
Yes.
I've 2 times in my life I've had to use my arms, but it was real easy, and I didn't hurt nobody, even though those guys wanted to hurt me. You know, and when you really do the martial arts and somebody punches at you, their punches like this, real slow. It's unique how our mind controls time. You know, a lot of times in kumite, right? When you're in that good point in kumite and everything is just so natural and you feel everything. And even when you release your punch to hit, you know, oh, he got it blocked already, so I got to do something else. Our senses have got to be heightened. And this is why we have to work with the chi side. We have to. And I think this is definitely, I will have to say, it had to come from Matsumura to stoke it. That's why he did it slow. Visei Kisei didn't understand those initially. In, I think it was 1999, I went to Colorado at one of his summer camps. And it was the only summer camp I ever went to. And it was just really unique to see every one of the black belts going for promotion, looking at the next guy for the kata move. But yet, when they go for promotion, they only have to do 1 or 2 katas. No. Always do all your kata. Always. It's okay if you only do them once, but always do them. That's what makes you great and where you own your own ground. You have to understand owning your own as much as you can. I have to thank my deshi, because it's the deshi that keep me going. I'm not like my student Rigo Gomez. He's a physical fitness buff, but everything he does, he's a buff at, and he does it great. When you have injuries like myself, there's not a time I work out that I don't hurt real bad. But like I asked my deshi yesterday, I said, "Did you see me in pain?" No. But when I have a bad neuropathy problem with my toes, and sometimes I wobble when I'm doing my technique closed eyes and just standing still because my toes aren't there. Even though they are, I can see them, but they don't look good. But this again is we have to accept what we have in our own body, understand it, and practice and practice. Not putting others down, even though I've talked indifferent of others, but I've never said that Kisei's karate is bad. He has great karate. He's good. He's great. He's just not doing shokun's way. Okay, and that's all that when I talk about indifference with these others, that's all it is. You know, Altamini, he's developed a really unique system now. When I saw him in 04, he didn't look the same as he does today. What was really cool though, all right? Altamini Sensei, really, it was really great when we did Kusanku kata, and we did the cross leg step, kicked in front, sprung up in the air, and leg stretch. Both times we were right on. Both of us were right on. We were both the same elevation off the ground, 4 or 5 inches at the most, and the time just perfect. So I knew, yes, without a doubt, he learned from Master Shogun, but he let too much stuff go away, and it's kind of hard to replace when you've gone into a hard style. It's like I'm finding with some of my new deshi, they practice harder systems. And it's difficult for them to understand soft fluid systems. Because really, Matsumura really interplayed a lot of Chinese art into his karate. I mean, the amount of time he spent in China, and then at the same time period, when he was in China, you know, he went around like a cowboy. He was a horseman, a great horseman. He ventured to China to bring horses back to Okinawa, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So Americans thinking, you know, that Asians are cowboys, damn well believe it. Yeah. You probably got some cowboys in Afghanistan, but you don't call them cowboys. You call them something else, right? You know, again, I think if we can get in and share with others, we grow better. Well, I spoke to Master Sokon about, like I said earlier, about meditation, zazen. Again, his emphasis was in kata. It took me a while before I felt proper. But even at that time period in Okinawa, one class out of 430 or 40 at his home, Blue Dojo, all 4 of us students, every move, we were all letter perfect at the same time. It only happened one time. Nobody said anything to each other during class. Then when class was over and we go back to our barracks, hey, wasn't that great? Each one of us was so, yeah, I felt that too. It's because you're sharing your energy. Learn to share. Here's something to do. Do your breathing exercise, right? Inhale, exhale, slow, right? I'm doing it fast here, right? So it should be. Do that for a few minutes. If you do it in a circle with your students 6 feet apart, you take the lead and tell them to follow your arms. So you, instead of just going to width of the body, that's your initial breathing, now you open them up like Christ on a cross. And then exhale. You're going to open up where everybody's chi ball unifies together at this point. When you come into here, boop, bring you back to your own little ball again. Please try that. It's, to me, it seems to be very critical for our awareness of those around us. So the more that we practice this breathing and open up and feel each other's energy, then we'll understand more. And then at the same time period, when we understand the energy, our power follows our sight and thought. Everything's got to follow your sight and thought. It's just not just throwing a punch out there. Every time I work out, I critique every move I do in my mind. I'm thinking about that move as I did it. Okay, I did it right. Oh, you screwed up there. Hey, I messed up there. So, you let them know. Because it's okay. I remember we had our New Year's workout, and my senior student and I were doing Goji Shokai. He got a real bad left knee, so he can't do the knee bend. I'll call him a butthead, made a post that, why'd you post that? All them errors and stuff. And I look ugly. I mean, everything you do all the time is perfect. So I don't worry about looking perfect all the time. I worry about, what fight am I in? Did I hit him hard enough? Did I survive it? Did I win? Or did I get away? It doesn't matter. And really, the best defense is turn and run. Because if you practice hitting Makawati board, you don't want to hit nobody. You see my Makawati hitting a little bit. I don't put a lot on line with it, but I don't want to hit nobody like that. But in the meantime, it gives me my health and longevity. Yes, Danish Sensei, what do you have?
Yes, Sensei, I take a lot of time from you. So I just share the last question with you. And that is very important for
Yeah.
Matsumura, Seito line, and all Shorin Ryu family.
Yes.
As you know that all the encyclopedia, all the Google information, all the books, everyone write the same thing, copy and paste. Sakugawa, Sakugawa sensei was an Okinawan karate expert.
All right.
As my research, as many other great researchers who are more than me, there is no clue that Sakugawa sensei was an Okinawan karate practitioner. He just knows about the Kubudo. He is not uh, understand. He is never teach karate or Okinawate or Tode or many other things. He just teach Kubudo. So
yeah, you said that a while back.
Is most yes. Yeah, yeah.
Now, yeah, when you posted that a while back, I go, wow, okay, that's rather interesting because we really seem to. Why did it end up nurturing karate side, right? Or Te versus Kobudo, and it was like several years ago. I'd asked a few people, okay, take your mind back to 300 years ago. You're going to have a battle in placement against my battle in placement. Say your front line men all have kun or bow, right? How far apart would they be standing? I asked this one guy back east. He goes, well, you'd just be 3 feet away. No, that's too close. If you're 3 feet away from me and I'm using my bow to fight somebody, and you're fighting somebody with your bow, that's too close. And it's funny how people will think of things and state them, but not realize, well, what room you need for your combat area. And, your different lines of enforcement all have a different requirement. But it's not like we see on movies where everybody just on top of each other. Even though, when it narrows down into a narrower chamber, whatever, hallway or mountain passageway, things like that change. But, again, the differences of matsumura sokon, you know, I, I I haven't really seen the total of soba-ashi. I've seen about half of it. I have several friends in Kobayashi and several in Matsubashi. And then the summer of '76, my cousin Hiroshi, meaning this belt was from 1976 to Okinawa, and when I worked out with Shoshi Nagamine. But this is about given to me from my cousin Hiroshi Kinjo of Utamanzawa. Next time you go to Okinawa, let me know. Okay? I
Yes,
want you to meet my cousin. He knows all the
that's
big
great.
people.
That's great.
Uh, he used to be.
I love to meet with him.
He's a herbal master now. He quit doing karate because one of his relatives, family get together, push it, push, and my wife says this guy was real pushy, and so he took it up to here and hit him, and that's the last punch he's thrown because he really hurt his cousin. You know, so we need to understand with our families. Don't get upset at your family over no bullshit. You're too good with karate to be striking anybody because nowadays we go to jail. I told my students yesterday, hey, I'm sorry, we don't have the right like we had 40 years ago. Our defense is limited. If you throw a punch, I have a right to block it, but I don't have a right to break the limb. So I try to promote more health concept. Think health. You're into karate for your health, for your longevity. And then like Matsumura Sokon, his statements of, well, when you return from learning in your village, you share amongst your family, the village. Years ago. Oh, I don't have one out here. Darn it. The yin yang 3 dots, Okinawan patch, right? The 3 patch, right? 3 teardrops. That came about from boiling 3 Portuguese sailors. And it made me really understand something very indifferent of Okinawa. I remember when I got to Okinawa, I was told Ituman, Ituman communist people. Huh? Well, I think America, if everybody in the neighborhood shares, that's communist. I don't know. But lo and behold, there was a shipwreck on Okinawa. These 3 sailors chased this young girl down and did their stupidity. And so the village master says, I will give you the food you need. I'll give you the repairs for your boat, but I want those 3 men. Okay. Now, to think about a kettle or a pot big enough for 3 men. That's a big cooking vat, huh? Very big. And so when they put them guys in there and they slowly cooked them up, boil it, during the boil, their spinning bodies gave the teardrop. And so that's where the 3 tears come from on that patch. And it's like, whoa, I mean, you think about something like that. That's pretty gnarly, but hey, those guys deserved it. All right, I'm sorry. A young girl like that, is, I know Okinawa's still having problems with GIs. And, Okinawa's going to take it so long, and they're really fed up now because of the COVID virus. But please, everybody, be safe with the COVID. Wear your mask when you go out and about. My brother, one of my brothers will, another one won't, the other one will. But they question, well, why should I? What's it doing? It's going to help me, no? No, it really keeps you from getting somebody else sick. I think that's the biggest thing. So they keep the bugs to themselves when you got the mask on. We do need to think of others. I always do. My wife Haruko, she does and will not do anything to hurt somebody else's feelings one way or another. So just let it ride. Oh, that's okay. It don't hurt me none. I haven't learned that easy way so easy. I'm not easy. I was raised, at 12 years old? My dad broke a 2x4 over my butt. That's a big piece of wood, all right? Ouch. That's where my back problem really came from. But, that's okay. I survived it. But any other questions, Sensei Danish?
Since there is no question, but I want to share something. As you know that I am from Pakistan. I am the Pakistani, but I love Okinawan culture, Okinawan land, Okinawan people. In fact, the Okinawan karate followers
Hey.
like you, I love everyone. In fact, I feel you all are a part of my family because you are the follower of Okinawan culture, Okinawan karate. So yes, I'm glad to talk to you. Glad to see you and talk regarding the Okinawan culture. I wish I saw a picture or a movie. I think Okinawan production have to make a movie of Okinawan culture, Okinawan karate, like Karate Kid. But
Yes.
it's not Okinawan movie, you know very well. It's an English movie. It's a Western movie. But I wish Okinawan people make karate, ancient karate, make movie. Did you know any movie name? I saw only one movie, one arm boxer. It's a Chinese movie. A
Okay.
man have only one hand, and maybe you know very well about the one arm boxer. It's a very nice movie, very old movie of 1970s, I think. So in this movie, a Chinese man hired the Okinawan man for killing Chinese martial artists. So the
Wow.
When Okinawan artists come from Okinawa and challenge to Chinese people, they just one uh, shotouchi or maybe the a knife and strike on the arm and they
Right.
cut the hand and they said, "I am Okinawan karate master." The hand of death.
Okay.
So it's about just inspiration. It's just a movie, I think, but it's an inspiration. Okinawa karate is not like other karate. So can you tell me about this thing?
Uh, well, when we looked at Japan or we
I
look
know
at
it's a movie.
movie, well, hey, a movie I saw, Old Guard. I saw on Netflix, Old Guard. It was really cool because they were doing so many moves I do in class. And in this case here, like somebody stepping in, throwing a punch, I go up and block it. But when I block it with this arm, and it's your right arm, I now spin around 100, 360 degrees, right? And just snap the heck out of that arm on your shoulder and so on. The different takedowns and so on. It's kind of unique. Some of these newer movies are coming out really right on with their techniques. And when I see a movie that has a lot of the matsumura, I want to watch it more. And the ones that I see closer to matsumura are fluid, smooth, not a hard position. Can't move. Just boom. One of the easiest strikes. I hit my hand, but I'll smack your temple out, right? I hold my hand here, boom. Well, when we understand that different yin and yang of our body concepts with fighting as well. But the Japanese took the art as a military might. And so they made a monster man with their karate. Hard, dynamic stances all the time, right? Real wide. Which, hey, you know, uh, for if you look at it for conditioning, that's totally proper. You got to modify somewhere for your kumite side, but other than that, I mean, it's still very proper. They probably do a little bit different bunkai, and they're probably more interested in brute strength to win and it's over versus the exact points upon the nerve lines to strike. They feel my hard finger is going to drop. Well, yeah, it will. It will. But then we go to China, though. But China covers all the fields hard and soft. It just depends on where you're at in its essence, The fluidity of the matsumura, I feel, was really out of China. Because when looking to the other sides, I don't see the same type of fluidity. So, and that's again back to ours being the softest style and the quietest of the Okinawan style. Then when we go down to the Philippines, and they're all into sticks and knives, but yet it's still all the same thing. So when you understand your karate, you should understand any weapon you pick up. Anything can be weapon. It's no different than our belts. Everybody's learned to, everything becomes natural when you understand what you can do with it. I mean, somebody punches, they're in trouble. It's just so easy on something minor. But it's no different with the other weapons. But the grounding that you have to have, your feet have to be proper on the ground, because I feel, especially with the matsumura, we're coming from the ground up and robustly striking outward, because we're using Mother Earth as our source of power. We try to draw down as far as we can, boom, jump right out with all we can. Because we really want to end whatever fight we have as fast as possible. It's not the Gracie fighting, okay? That's a controlled fight. The Gracie's fighting. They do some good stuff, all right, but there's limitations on what you can't do. Well, in real fight, no limitation, zero. You fight until you win, and that means until your opponent's dead. Now, I was lucky, unlike my brother, not having to do that hand to hand. And I really pray, all my life, all I've seen is war. The end of World War II, Korean War, and then the nuclear buildup, and then Vietnam War, and it's just perpetual war. I don't think it's we the people. I feel it's the rich man wanting to get richer. And I think we're at a point now, we understand we can't do that anymore. It's not good. It's not proper. We have to promote peace. We have to promote health. So when I try to sell, I try to sell it from the health side. And myself, my dad died at 65. My mother had open heart surgery in her 40s. She did live to about 81, 82. I'm hoping that I can get up there. But that's why I love it so much. Again, working out with Master Sokon, one of the famous posters everybody got. But yet I never saw him take that posture in Kumite. But again, I know earlier, I think at the beginning of this, you had me listed as master. No. SHIHAN is title Master Sokon gave me. I got a Kiyoshi from Akamine. Raymond Gunther Sensei, when I taught his dojo, the system, he had promoted me to Kiyoshi with, Charles, you got to go up in rank because your students, some of your students want to go high rank. And if you don't have a high enough rank, well, the student's not going to want to be with you. I go, well, that's kind of stupid, but okay. Because see, even my senior student understood the fact that, hey, you're doing this for your life. What's rank got to do with it? But, oh, gee, the Americans. I guess I'll make one blast on our Americans. Oh, gee, they just love lying. One gentleman, Ron Lindsay and Chuck Chandler, they were teaching 50 crane katas at one time. And they're all supposed to be from Okinawa. And I got a hold of the Tony Sandoval. I spoke to him, and he said, "Oh, well, yeah, well, Chuck Chandler at this one event started calling her Hakusa de May, you know, and so I didn't say anything." I'm sorry, Tony Sandoval. You just can't sit back and let somebody lie. All right? This is one thing I've always been against in my life. I have a hard time with liars. If somebody lies to me, I'm sorry, I've lost a friendship as far as I'm concerned. I don't desire them as a friend. Ron Lindsay, the way that he jumps from one master to another master to another master, and he steals from everybody. Wow, I thought we were into really honorable art. You should have respect of others and share with others, yeah, you know, but when you purposely do things just for your own gain or id, not good. Do things for everybody. I know I really love to met Oyata Sensei. I barely missed him on our journey around America in 2005. He was a fellow student with Fisei Kisei, and Oyata learned real karate. Kisei, he didn't make it. For whatever reason, his Kempo wasn't acceptable through the masters there. But I'm just so honored that Oyata Sensei put on video for everybody to see what happens when you get hit. And he's not doing full power strikes. And I go to my students, you know, I play with their nerves and make them bend over and crackle downward. Well, do you want me to go full power? No. Okay, good. Because I don't want to go full power. You know, full power should be for life or death only. And to see the sharing that Oyata did was pretty magnificent. You know? The gentleman I forgot to mention so far, Nishime Junjiro, he was a great follower of Master Sokon. He started out in Goju, got with Master Sokon in the mid-60s, and stayed with it. And I saw him in 06 on the last trip, and what a great gentleman. I looked at a picture he had of Sudo, Ukraine, and instantly he goes, here's a present for you. So he gave this to me as a present. And my wife
Excellent.
yes, oh yes, you know. And as well, Nishime got into stone carving. And this is the one he gave me in 2004. And he had statues around his yard, 2 foot, 3 foot, you know. And here's the date. Let's see if that, there we go.
It's great. Classic.
There we go. Okay, the date and signature, right?
61.
So, you know.
Just classic.
It's so cool, all right? Energy, meditation, okay? But yet we never sat and meditated in class because we understood kata as a meditation line. And then take a look at football players, baseball players, basketball players. They're all meditating when they're playing. They just don't know it. They don't know it. Well, Genghis, Danish Khan, it's really been great. You know?
Yes, sir.
I love Sharon. Got to talk about the differences, but just because there are differences, or I say there's differences, doesn't mean that I'm belittling that master because they're great. But then again, I don't want to be called master myself. Okay. Shihan, Kiyoshi, Sensei, and or just not late for dinner too. I like dinner. But no, the more
Yes.
we share around the world like this, uh, it's all good energy, and it's important. And like you were saying, family, shinseki. We become shinseki. We're family, all right? Kodomo, all right? And it's important. And watching, uh, I could see that you have the same love, like you said, as I do of the Okinawan culture and way. And my wife would get mad at me because some things I set to the side because the Okinawan way is not to say nothing wrong about the old elders, right? So my American way kind of keeps me from not doing that because to me there's a certain way doing sokon kata. And if Kano says I'm doing the same way he learned from Shokin, then it should continue the same way. Yeah. Huh, I wonder who that is in there.
Uh,
Hi. Well,
Sensei, your wife is an Okinawan?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Uh,
Please give regards to her.
yes, I
My
will.
respect.
Haruko is something else. She really is. Kind of sad, okay? Uh, when we first got married, and my brother was in Vietnam, uh, he still had a problem from Vietnam, and she could feel his negative energy. And she was telling me that he's putting knives in my back. He's putting knives in my back. And when I saw it, I had to say something, okay? But he's different now, okay? But she will go out of her way not to hurt anybody's feelings. She's miraculous that way. Uh, she's really a spitting image of her mother, and that is Okinawan mother taking care of family, and uh, she does a great job of it. I had the Gillian beret back in the 70s. I couldn't crawl. I couldn't walk. I couldn't wipe myself even, right? And I had to learn to crawl again. I had to learn to walk. Well, my son was a year old, so he taught me how to crawl. And he taught me how to get from the ground up into a chair. So I know what it's like to be quadriplegic. Matter of fact, I guess it was worse than that. Like when I was in the hospital for the Gilead Braid, an old man, he was 60-something years old. I was only 30. He goes, "Hey, Charles, if you don't move over there, I'm going to call the mortician," because I couldn't move. But I kind of wonder at times if I didn't have the karate in me at the time, I may not have survived because I was really, really in great shape. And, it was one of the first times when I was in the hospital with my nurse on swing graveyard, Nancy, Japanese lady. I asked her to hold my left arm up in the air, and I extend my fingers. I asked her to hold it up in the air for 10 seconds. I'm giving me enough time for my mental extension to get my fingers into the wall. My arm just fell right down. I go, well, there goes my theory on mental extension. She goes, no, Charles. No, it's a Gillian beret. Okay. But
Okay.
I made my students years ago hold hands out like that 5 to 10 minutes, then put 5 pounds on hands. To survive it, extend your fingers into the wall in front. Extend your fingers in the wall mentally. You can do it then. Our mind is strong. Everything we do, we need our mind involved. That's the essence of life in its essence. That's our awareness. Okay, that's our love. And it's our hate when we get pushed. Okay, but the arts to me is a way of conveying friendship, like you were saying. We were supposed to have a martial art get together on the 26th of this month, but because of the COVID problem, we're having that event canceled. That was at a Rinbu Kai Karate Dojo in South Sacramento. It's people, we need to be serious about this virus. You have to pay attention. people coughing around you, get away from them. Keep your mask. Wear your mask. Well, this has really been an honor.
That's great, Sensei.
I didn't know I could run this long.
Yes.
I hope we didn't bore too many people.
That's Sensei, today I organized a big interview with you. The time is 1 hour 50 minutes. It's approximately near to 2 hours interview. 2 hours. I take your interview. It's a big interview. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. You gave me in shape of interview. So keep in touch and bless you. Take care of your sweet self. Now, I just want to say goodbye because you have more work. Your health is not fine today.
Yeah.
So please
Remember to work this
and keep in good.
Danish Khan Sensei, I'm very honored to be interviewed by you. As far as I'm concerned, you're one of the outstanding men in the world in the arts. Your heart that you display, your drive and interest, and it's important. And the more different nationalities we get involved, maybe the fighting's going to stop somewhere. But the main thing though is that we are friends and will be for a long time. And I pray that our roads cross in the future. And may you and your family have many blessings and ties. God bless.
はいはいはいありがとうございます。
はい、どうもありがとうございます。さよなら。頑張って。
頑張って頑張って。
頑張ってよ。はい。God bless you.
Same to you, Sensei. Goodbye, all viewers. Thank you for watching.